dangling forever, hoping to God their blood isn't let out. Weckerly's. Ice cream store. Hope there's no bloodletting anytime soon. Murderers with uncircumcised penises. Rapists. Heavy beer drinkers. We're awesome because we never were circumcised, so we're more natural than everybody else. Actually, if you're into the medical field, which it seems they are anyway, they would say it's better to do the circumcision. It has to do with all kinds of things that go on. And you don't want to look like one of those slinky toys that people, grab up from Spencer Gifts, A big gigantic rubber thing that just slips through your hands. It's filled with air. Hot air. A lot of blowhard people. Because their way of treating women is to ask them to blow hard. That's how they treat women. And they think women are supposed to pass the test. But the men already failed from the get-go. Oh, women are supposed to pass some sort of test that we present to them. Really, men keep failing. Big time. You're supposed to hold off. You're supposed to not even present yourselves. Women are conditioned to please, even if they have small accomplishments in life, like a degree and stuff. They still think they're supposed to please, and everybody likes to feel good. The greatest test is of man to respect women, and they keep failing miserably at the highest level. It's embarrassing. It's like a high school department in Washington, D.C. in government. We still have to hold hands as if we're at the high school football game. Prom. There are some people who are like, it's cute and all, but at some point you're like, we're 60 fucking years old. We're 79 fucking years old. Holding hands got old, and when you're real, at some point you become an adult. And you're like, that's sweet and cute, but out in public, we don't need to hold hands as if we're at the high school dance. That's what's going around on the airwaves. Utah. And sometimes women are like, ugh, he keeps grabbing my hand. And it's like, come on. From 16 to age 79 or 80, holding hands. At what point do you grow up and be like, we don't need to do that. We're adults now. We've had 600 kids. We're tired. We're exhausted. We don't need to look like high school sweethearts from the prom. Right? Right-wingers? We all have to show up holding hands at the age of 79 and 80. That's the word from higher level people who got sick of it. They're like, are we still in a high school mentality wearing Letterman jackets for the FBI? You look like you just stepped out of high school and never quite succeeded at getting a date for the dance. So funny. All of that is being fed through the brains of Americans who are tired of high school-minded people needing to put their face out there in the show. And you're like, we get it. You get the job done. How hard do you have to prove it? How much money did you come into this job with? How much money did you start out in life with? Are you really serving the people or your right-wing agenda? I'm sorry, left-wing agenda, right-wing agenda, left-wing agenda, right-wing agenda, left-wing agenda, left-wing agenda. We'll just keep doing that until they bobble up and fall off the tip. Cut off the tip. Right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left. Boop. That's what it takes to get rid of people who learn to lie so much that they position themselves in a certain place for their own self-interest and protection and not the service of others. Now, if you work for the government, you're supposed to be in service to others. And it is a responsibility for a lot of people who have a lot of money to serve people in the community, since other people aren't as fortunate. it's considered a high responsibility, why abuse it? For Christ's sake. I know the police have nothing better to do today. We're gonna drive around and not actually help people, we'll just intimidate them. Or we'll put on a show. In some cases, people like to put on a show. Now, most people agree that they would love to have some sort of situation where people get to have even small apartments of their own, anything, so that they don't have to be out here on the streets. I'm wondering why they can't fund that. They're chronically homeless and they still have very little space for everybody. There are people out there, oh, they should sign up. It's really hard to do, and you hate everybody because everybody's an asswipe. It's like, I don't want to live next door to a bunch of jackass neighbors. You know what I mean? Also, there are powers that be that make people feel like they need to be outside because they feel claustrophobic, right, Heather? They're weirded out by being closed in by four walls. But there are people who can fix it in the sky. No, this is a more comfortable space. You can hang out here all day until you heal, or forever. Because some people are so unfortunate that they're used by overly privileged people who hold hands. And they can't even figure out what they're supposed to do. There are even people who figure out how to make just enough money to pay for whatever, their house or apartment, but they still don't know what to do in life. What am I supposed to do? How do I function? I have to keep moving to a smaller community in order to function. We will keep moving to smaller communities to feel like the boss and to avoid the masses who rape people. I kind of agree. Like, I wouldn't mind moving to a small community and seeming like the big sophisticated city slicker who isn't too obnoxious, but can hold down a job and a school with very few people. So you're not pushed out by people with 50 million agendas. That seems like a safe place to be. But how many times do people have to keep moving to smaller and smaller and smaller communities to survive? At some point, the big blob keeps finding people. So America just needs to operate a little bit better. Kind of failed big time in Philly and Gainesville. So we'll just leave it at that. It needs to be fixed, and stop holding hands and jerking off and start doing something real.